what's new. Let's see what they got. Cool mailbox, bro. Letterbox, as my grandmother would say. Well, today it's free admission, so it's super crowded. So we'll see what we get here. Now that looks pretty interesting for our channel. Detroit, the city of hot rods and muscle cars. Very nice. I can't wait till spring when we get back to our car shows. Take a quick look in the gift shop in reverse order. That's always fun. Here's some 164th M2 cars. Are beautiful Willys there. Nice Super B there. Very nice. Roadrunner. The only trouble with this is the price, of course. These are 164th cars and they're 45 bucks. These would be $8 on Walmart. Nice Ford die-cast vehicles there. Somewhat more reasonably priced at, although if you were at a CVS, it would be under 10. Now that's a drone. Might be the size of the ones in New Jersey earlier in 2025. If you're a fan of tractors, here's a John Deere farm tractor and some smaller ones and older ones. Wow. How about that wheel on the back there? There's a giant steam contraption that resembles a locomotive. Very sizable. Look at the wheel there. Basically is a steam engine. And here's one of the most popular things in the Henry Ford, the Oscar Mayer Wienermobile in all its colorful hot dog glory. 1952. Very nice condition. Beautiful. Looks like a Boeing aircraft fuselage there in the front. Very cool. Nice exhibit, Da Vinci, which is apparently now through May 3rd. Get it, see it while it's hot. There's the old Dymaxion house. It was a home that was kind of circular, almost resembles a 50s diner, really. Kind of interesting. Windows all around. Nice war poster there. Invent for victory. Different forms of nostalgia in the form of movies here. Saturday Night Fever with Travolta. There's a poster from the Fillmore. And Help by the Beatles. Stop worrying because help is on the way from the Beatles. If only. Interesting structure there. Old stove in the middle there. Nice deco. Nice jukebox from Wurlitzer back in the day. Pretty cool. It'd be nice if that was lit up in there. A couple of tin toys here. There's a Wyandotte toy bomber. That's pretty vintage. Tri-tail. That's pretty cool. How about that tank? Wind-up tank. Sparkling. Climbing and fighting tank. You would wind that up and it would move along, but it would shoot sparks out everywhere too. I remember having one of those. If you need a few extra bombs, there's some right over here. An Overland car right there. Top down. Beautiful decorative furniture there. The wardrobe. Chest. Very nice. Beautiful violins are suspended in the air in this case. Very nice. Tough to see with the glare, but very cool. Here's the Rosa Parks bus. Very nice looking machine, but it's historical that if you go back and see her history books, Rosa Parks, an African American, refused to give up her seat in this bus. People are lining up to sit in it. Definitely a beautiful machine. It was Montgomery, Alabama in 1955 when this event happened. Why fight traffic? Go by bus. Those were the days. I always thought these were the coolest looking buses that ever existed. The windows or the windows above there, the back windows, the wheel. The paint on this is magnificent. Interesting industrial things here. Who are you going to call? That is the question. Not too many people with these phones.
To strengthen this law.
Beautiful DC-3 back there.
But experience has plainly shown elections. The answer is simple. Open your polling places to all of your people.
It's Martin Luther King speech. Nice stagecoach there. Beautiful colors on that. Very classy. Very nice. Beautiful McDonald's neon sign. 15 cents for hamburgers. It's a great price. A&W root beer sign. That's pretty neat. And underneath the McDonald's sign is this nice 56 Chevy convertible. I think I would have a little more lighting on the front of that car. It's very uneven, but what can you do? There's a nice diner back behind there too. Lamey's Diner. Let's take a look at that. Very nice. Very nice vintage actual diner. Take a quick walk through the diner here. Vintage signage. Nice tiled floor. Nice seats there. Faygo Soda, which would not be where this diner originated from. I believe it was somewhere in Massachusetts, if I'm not mistaken. There's a nice ornament of it. Very cool. Not much in the way of food going on in here today. There is some nice, delicious sandwich items there. Tomatoes, lettuce, cheese, ham. Very nice. Nice little jukebox there. Very small. Frank Sinatra. And outside we see that 56 Chevy under the McDonald's neon sign through the windows here. Very nice. Fun day here at the museum. Some delicious pies are here. Very tasty looking. Nice old traffic signals here. Very nice. There's a Texaco State gas station here, along with gas pumps and a truck, fuel truck. Very cool. I think my favorite exhibit at the Henry Ford, automotive-wise, is this very cool New York checker cab. I miss seeing these. The last time you could see them in New York was in the mid-80s. The last ones were made in 1982. Beautiful, obvious checker pattern designs. Logos, decals. That was the going rate for taxis back then. $1.15 just for the first eighth of a mile. It could add up quickly. Iconic front end. The bumper guards there up front would help to push a vehicle sometimes. Very nice. Unfortunately, there's a bicycle in the line of sight there. Can't do too much about that. Beautiful Holiday Inn neon sign. Very cool. 57 DeSoto Fireflight and a 55 Corvette to go along with that neon sign. How about that? Beautiful C&O locomotive there. Look how large that is. 1601. Beautiful machine. How about that? Nice headlight there with the number board. Massive bell. Number board, if you can see it through the glare. Everybody loves posing on the front end. Those driving wheels are about as tall as I am for scale. Beautiful model here. Very cool. Sounds good. Now it looks like they changed some of the exhibits around. There was a Cord in that spot last year. Now there's a Dodge Diora 2. It's like a Hot Wheels car. Check out the... I don't think that would be a great idea to bang into the front end of anything with that. Nice Goodrich TAs though. See if, I guess you would just slide into it. Nice steering wheel. Looks more like an aircraft. 1967. Beautiful color. Considered as a truck. Very cool. Over to the model trains, we have a Canadian National pushing the Time Machine apparently from Back to the Future 3. Nice tank cars on that set. Nice switch engine below that. Some Thomas and tank engine stuff there. Nice Amtrak set there. I believe it's an H8, I think was what it is. Both ends. Real nice. Using the C&O steam engine as a backdrop for these model trains. A little derailment there, apparently. I strongly doubt that's going to get to 88 miles an hour. Goldenrod Salt Flats car. Very long. Nice 54 Cadillac. Race car. Black wheels. Car 127. Pilot and co-pilot. I'm not sure if it was that fast. Nice neon sign there. Very nice. Wendell Scott's NASCAR Ford Galaxy 427 cubic inch. Very nice. 1966. Beautiful condition that car is in. Very nice. This car was here last year. 55 Chevy Bel Air up here. Two-tone, looks like a peach color. Corvair alongside. Peach with dark gray. This exhibit does not change from year to year, so we're not going to spend much time up here. It's 1932 Ford Cabriolet, I believe that is, V8. Very nice. Very nice Rick Mears Pennzoil IndyCar. Pennzoil Miller High Life. Very eye-catching. Detroit Diesel. Really neat car. Beautiful 33 Willys drag car over here. Was here last year, along with a dragster by Gary Ormsby. I wish there was an NHRA museum somewhere around, because the funny cars and dragsters of the 70s and 80s and 90s were really neat. Love the shape of this car. Basically any Willys from early 30s to the 40s would do for spectacular looking vehicles. Here's the Trevor Bayne Wood Brothers 21 Ford Fusion Motorcraft that actually won the Daytona 500. Got the confetti still from the Victory Lane. Autographed by the crew members, I believe. Cool ride, bro. Good thing about this time of year is that Daytona is starting to become active, and soon we will have NASCAR back for 2026. Change a tire in NASCAR. Nice Hendrick Racing cars there, donated, half of them I guess. They're just cut in half. 2016 Ford GT race car, as raced. Very, very sharp car. EcoBoost, Chip Ganassi Racing. I'll go around the side of this to take a nicer look at it. Another Ford GT there. Pretty cool. And so this car number 68 actually won an event. There's a nice photo of that happening. So there's a team of 4 of these apparently. Nice March Cosworth Texaco Star IndyCar. Very nice. Tom Sneva drove this car back in 1984. Back in the day. How'd you like to ride behind this Lotus? Black wheels. 1967 Ford Mark IV. This car won 24-hour Le Mans with Dan Gurney and AJ Foyt driving it. A little racetrack there. Everybody's getting in on it. '51 Lakester. Bonneville Salt Flat car, basically considered as the world's fastest fuel tank, because this was actually a P-38 Lightning's belly tank, allegedly. I guess that is conceivable. Nice 56 Ford F-100 there. Nice trailer truck. Beautiful Federal, 1952 Federal cab and a Freuhoff trailer.
He was the first African-American designer to join Ford.
Very nice.
So he
1936 Lincoln Zephyr, 4-door, suicide doors in the back. Pretty cool. Here's a 1956 Continental Mark II. Great looking condition. Sedan. '48 Tucker.
that car is huge.
I don't see too many of these around. There's one at the Museum Stalls in Chesterfield. It's got the headlight, 3 headlights there. A car ahead of its time. 1958 Edsel Citation. Cars that were not very well thought of back then. They didn't hold up too well. There's a railroad snowplow. Gets pushed by a locomotive and clears the snow off the rails. I wish it would clear some people out of the way. How about that? That's pretty serious metal there. Get back a little further. Give you an idea of the size of it. Cool 67 Camaro convertible. Indy 500 pace car. Ken Block's Ford Fiesta. Hoonigan. Does all kinds of, well, used to do all kinds of stunts before he passed away in a snowmobiling accident. Sadly. Very cool looking colors on the car. 2012. Look up Gymkhana, Gymkhana on YouTube for a nice demonstration. Basically what you see on that screen happening. Very cool ride, bro. Nice Indy car there.
So every 20 minutes, okay? You're welcome.
Check out the detailing on this.
It's 15 minutes and it's about
Very nice.
racing and people that love to race and their passion.
Some nice models. They look like they're made out of tin. Interesting teardrop looking design there with flames on it. Beautiful yellow to orange to blue. Very cool. Very nice. Old highway billboard as you would drive by on the highway. Here's a Ford that was kind of futuristic when it first came out, but wasn't a very good car. You don't see any of these around anymore. So that's an 86 Taurus. Well, here's a 65 Mustang, and you do see plenty of these, especially in the summertime. Those held up a lot better. Cool traffic light there. Go off up and to the left. One of the presidential limousines. For some reason, there's a line of these in here, including the one supposedly that JFK was assassinated in. Not sure what the interest of having that vehicle would be. It's not a very happy occurrence. Not sure if this one was the one or not, but it's been changed. Yeah, 1961 Lincoln. had some changes done to it after the fact, but supposedly there it is. One of the most iconic automobiles ever conceived is the '59 Cadillac Eldorado. The tail section is always the most interesting thing about these cars. I'd also argue the front end is pretty neat too. White wall tires. Here's your front end view. Sometimes I really think they could do better lighting in here. What do you think? Take a look through the Heroes of the Sky exhibit real quick. Nice Ford aircraft right here. Can't mistake that. The logo. Basically a two-blade prop. Nice Ford tri-motor here. Basically one of the first types of passenger aircraft that wasn't considered for one person. Also a nice car shown dropping off a Traveler, I guess. Very nice. So there'd be one engine on the nose and one on either side of the fuselage. Two blade on the outboard engines and a triple blade on the nose. There's a nice view of it from the front. Floyd Bennett. Nice wire wheels. Nice view you get when you walk up the stairway. There's a DC-3 that's suspended in the air. Another elevated view. Very nice. Fully above the aircraft. The Wright Brothers aircraft. Not too sure how safe that will be for more than a 20-foot flight. Some aircraft were used simply for racing, and this is one. Not sure where the person sits exactly. Engine would block any view. Can't be up there. Here's an Arctic Expedition Fokker. It has landing gear is basically skis. Nice exhibit for wing walking. Can you imagine standing upside down? I don't feel like that's very safe. Do you? Leave a comment below. Let's laugh together. Although someday this car might belong in a museum, I don't really feel like it does right now. It's a 2018 Camaro ZL1. Who knew that Ducati made cars? That is sharp. Ducati 4899 Vittori. There's a mock-up of one. Interesting. That's called an I-Rod, and it's apparently not a car. If you want to copy that or pause on it. Pretty nice size model there though. Basic shape of a car for sure. Now that is interesting. A Pagani Caproni. This is a Hyperjet. Interesting. I like that photo above, or artist rendering, I guess that would be. I guess that it opens up in the front like that. Interesting exploded Model T. All apart. Suspended in the air. Very interesting. They love it. That looks fun. You can read that. It's a mathematics area, if that interests you. I barely know how to add 2 and 2 together myself, so I don't find it that much of interest, but all this movement is interesting, of course. I guess that is supposed to prove that random balls dropping will tend to wind up closer to the center, which is what is happening there. Kind of a roller coaster thing. So if furniture is your thing, the Henry Ford can accommodate that interest. All kinds of antique things. Kids aren't very interested in this. They're heading right on out of here. There's some kind of a wacky chair there. I don't think I would want to sit in that thing if I was afraid of what might happen there. It looks kind of dangerous. Let's go back to some simpler chairs. Very nice, I guess. Take a peek in the Da Vinci exhibit here. Large painting. Very nice ambient in this room. Very nice looking. Forms of flying, I guess. The one on the floor is called the flapping wing. I'm not too sure I would feel too safe about that. Some more flying things, I guess. Looks like a lot of exciting fun here. Get here while you can. There's only a few hours left. So this is a beautiful section of the Henry Ford. I recommend you taking a look at it if you can. Something about floating, diving. Other than that, it looks like a character from Star Wars. Cannon. Watch out for that. Just a nice experience being here at the museum. And that's going to about do it from our visit here at the Henry Ford. Hope you've enjoyed this video. And if you did, I ask you to kindly leave me a like, click for notifications, and subscribe for more similar material. Thank you for watching. Another Street Rodder King production, and we'll see you somewhere down the road. Neat tin toy of a streamline railroad item. Rotary dial telephone. I don't see those too much anymore. The old Atari video game system. I had one of those. Pac-Man was one of the cool games. Enjoyed spending a lot of hours with that. Industrial section here. So what was your favorite exhibit at the museum that you've seen?
Put it back here. Put it back here. Why not do that?
Well, since I'm typically into cars and trains and planes, I'm going to say I think the Wendell Scott NASCAR 66 Galaxy was mine. Leave your thoughts below. We can talk about it. Appreciate any feedback you have. Dark scene there. In fact, apparently, really? Not too sure I would have an exhibit about that here, but might be fun for some. There's a way of testing your strength there. It's the Tower of Power. I'm going to say that's going to be a fairly low wattage generated on that. 200 watts?
Yeah.
Maybe.
You gotta move really fast.
Interesting item from Edison General Electric. Nice quiet equipment there. It's gigawatts. Forget the Mold-A-Rama there. That one makes a Abraham Lincoln head. Bust, if you will. Everybody needs that. You don't often see Iron Maiden here at the Ford. It's a good attraction. Hey, an unobstructed view of the bus. Very nice. There's that unobstructed. Very good. Cool mug, bro. If you're a fan of hot dogs, here's a nice little keychain for you. Nice mustard there. Bottle opener.